Welcome back everyone to another training week. You're watching the week of October 10th and we're getting closer and closer to leaving for the World Championships. So first off, congrats the Year 3 for taking out the giveaway, and the second place runner-up was Hyper Gaming. So I'm gonna go ahead and mail out the giveaway all the way to Canada, either today or sometime this weekend. Again, today is Friday, my designated vlogging day. And because the Year 3 and Hyper Gaming got the answer correct, which was 2 hit P-bar routines from actually this week that you're watching right now. And to clarify the rules, a hit routine means a full 16.2 difficulty routine with no large errors, and by definition a large error is 0.5. So you'll see on the Tuesday and the Friday, I believe both routines had no single large errors in them. So congrats, I'll mail that out. And Hyper Gaming, I'm actually gonna give him a runner-up prize, so something maybe else from my Commonwealth Games kit, which still hasn't arrived from, where were we? We were in Birmingham. I think it actually is in New Zealand. I just need to go and pick it up from somewhere. But Hyper Gaming is actually a boy training at TriStar, where I'm also training. So you've been watching my Worlds preparation for the last few weeks, and it's pretty much finished. Today I've decided to do another routine run through, another competition run through. Initially I thought this week I would take completely light, so I haven't done too much on Monday or Tuesday. I did a bit of a pre-comp yesterday, so I did a little bit more. And I've decided to do another head out of routines because there's still many things to fix and the numbers that I've gotten through are limited. So otherwise, as you saw, refinement is the focus. Something that I've been striving for this particular week was 3 Colemans in a row, or not directly connected, but on the same turn. And on Thursday and on Sunday, I actually did do 3 Colemans in a row. Why Sunday? Because there was a national training camp all weekend, so we ended up training from Thursday all the way through to Sunday. And that made the mock competition feel a little bit more real, because every time myself or Will saluted a routine, all of the gymnasts that were at that training camp would gather around and give us a little bit of added pressure. Now, one theme of this year has been that Makuts, and you'll notice this week I've been increasing my repetitions of Makuts. It gave me problems all the way at the start of the year at the Cottbus World Cup. It was the reason that I injured myself at the Commonwealth Games. And just in general, it's quite a shaky skill for me. So this week I put a focus on refining that Makuts and pushing through a bit harder on my post arm, trying to crank that swing a little bit more. So far I think that step would have been a 3. I stepped back and forwards and back again after the peach to handstand. Otherwise, I think it's just a bunch of 1s. 0.1, I mean deductions. Probably 0.1 for the legs there in the studs, 0.1 for the unstable catch. Maximum 0.3 for the chest down and 0.3 for the step. But again, no single large 0.5 deduction. So I went ahead and counted that as a hit routine on the Tuesday, and again I made it on the first try and got right back up. Now this time you'll notice I'm doing more than just basics. I feel that my fitness is increasing, so I'm taking my 15-20 second, maybe around 30-second breather, hopping back up, and I try to do a second half. And as you can tell, doing skills while I'm tired from the routine is still in the works. Stutz was giving me some trouble, but we finished the P-bar session off with a stick, and that's always good. Something I've noticed with the hop full or quast this particular week, I've been meaning to push away more as I catch with my right arm, so my first arm that goes on the bar. And what I noticed was the reason that I'm collapsing isn't necessarily because I'm not pushed away enough. Sometimes what happens is I don't get the bar in a nice part of my hand. It kind of almost misses my hand and the bar catches about here. So I end up kind of slipping off and having to re-grip, which prevents me from pushing. So if you look really closely, you'll see that my hand placement is almost missing the bar on that hop full. So there's two things that have to go right. The hand has to find the bar. Somewhere in between the index finger and the thumb is a good place where you can have a firm push into the bar. And then of course, no loss of shape during the catch of the quast. And speaking of loss of shape, I am getting a 0.1 on the one-arm giant still for that slight arch at times, and at other times I'm a little bit skew at the top. So I'm not directly forwards, my body's a little bit twisted. So possibly I could be getting a 1 and a 1, which kind of nullifies the bonus I'm getting on that skill. Decided to hop up onto the floor and do a bit of tumbling. See if I still got that double twist from punch. Of course, you remember I took out the handspring at the Commonwealth Games. And I've started doing some double twist punch stuff, double twist punch, double front. This week you'll see a double twist punch, double pike off the air track. So I've been playing around with some new tumbles. I've had to barricade the P-bars with blocks because there's a holiday program on at the gym when I train, and of course there's kids running around, so I don't want to hit anyone when I'm swinging, because I know it's happened with other athletes in the past. I've heard stories with kids getting smacked in a wind-up tap on the high bar. So we're not trying to do any of that. So I've barricaded at least as much as I can of the P-bars, so that at least one half there won't be anybody running while I'm doing my training. And another stick. So I could talk a little bit about Giant Diamondov. I'm starting to understand it even more. The extent of my knowledge before this week was, well, I have to push into the bar on my post arm in a straight position. I found another checkpoint that I can hit in that Giant Diamondov, and that's to initiate that half turn a little bit early, just like I do the drill. So not just focusing on the drill, but focusing on doing the drill and hitting the first half turn of the Diamondov, in my imagination, at a 45 degree angle. When that goes right and the body stays straight, I get a firm push into the bar. I'm catching the Diamondov in handstand rather than flying over, and it's preventing me from losing my shape during the twist. And that was my first set of 3 Coleman's in a row. It was a good week. I was catching everything on the first try. The Coleman's I did on my first turn, that was my first turn of Pagan. You know, I know I'm in good shape when I'm catching Pagan on the first try. That's rarely happened in a build-up for me. I think I did it once in my Tokyo build-up, and that was at the actual games the day before we competed. So Friday, mock competition day. Almost feet together on that Casina, and that's, you know, that's another theme on high bar, keeping my legs together during the catch. That Pagan was pretty much solid feet together, just a little bit of feet crossing over if you slow motion it. Again, I don't know if the judges are gonna pick up on that, but you know, I'd like them to be fully glued together. So it's a long work in progress. It's taken me years and years and years to get to this point where I'm not just focused on how far I am away from the bar, but I'm also able to focus on my lower body as I'm looking for and reaching for the bar. So Friday mock competition, everybody's watching, there's some added pressure. So far I only see just a few 0.1s. 0.1, probably a 1 for shape, maybe a 3 for catching angle, and a 1 for the legs. Maybe a 0.1 on the hold. You've got to be careful with that hold, because if it's more than 1 second, I think it doesn't get counted. Now here were my 3s. I had a loss of shape there. Honestly, it might be 0.1s, but likely 3s. 3 for the legs, 3 for the catch angle, and a 0.3 for the hop. Again, no 0.5s, so that was my second hit of the week. And at that point I knew that I'm not going to do another routine on the Saturday or the Sunday, so I knew at that point that the Yi3 and Hypergaming had tied in their answer of 2 hit routines. Just a teensy weensy bit off. I decided not to keep going. I thought I'd give it another try to see if I can get all the way through. Tiny leg separation again, but probably just a 0.1. Now here I really didn't want to miss, so I went kind of early on the Coleman and on the Kachev. The Kachev wasn't, I wasn't trying to go early. It just happened to be that my tap was a bit off. But I think I made a good adjustment there in the straddle, taking it a little bit later. Now again there, that collapse was because I didn't catch the bar on the proper part of my hand, so I couldn't push away. So something I'm going to try today on my final mock competition before I leave is to do the Stalder right after the releases and see if that works. The Stalder only gives me 0.1, but again at World Championships every single 0.1 matters. It can be the difference between, you know, up to 10 placings at times. I remember 2015 World Championships, an extra 0.1 on P-bars would have got me from 22nd or so, or 24th to the top, somewhere in the top 16, which in New Zealand gets a good amount of funding. So every single 0.1 matters. And that second half you saw before was probably no more than 30 seconds to a minute rest after the routine. So I got up relatively quickly to do it. And just those minor details on Sunday, the shape and the catch angle in the giant Diamondov, pushing away in the clasp. And you'll see 2 phones on me in the 3 Colemans that I did right there. Scott on the top right was using a Galaxy S21, which I remembered that I actually have from Tokyo. All the Olympians get the latest Samsung phone, and Cameron just got the latest iPhone 14. So we'll finish up with a couple of double pikes, Thanks for watching, and catch you next week.